Yes, hi, hello. Just quickly before we get into the video, I wanted to say that this whole thing was inspired by OceanIs, who did something very similar to this with Monster Hunter. So, if you like the idea, but find my execution lacking, which, would be fair since I'm not exactly a voice actor, I'll leave a link to his channel in the description if you'd like to take a look. But, yeah, I think that's about all I have to say, so I'll let you get on to the video.
Launch in 3, 2, 1.
Is this thing working? The ship's gone down, and I'm now stuck in the middle of an alien ocean. My life pod is barely functional, and I'm too scared to go outside. I don't understand what's going on. Where is everybody? My PDA is saying that there aren't any other life signs detected, but there's no way that's right. There were almost 200 people aboard the Aurora. How can they all be dead? What am I supposed to do? The sun is setting and no one's come to get me yet. How am I supposed to survive on my own like this? I was a janitor up until a day ago. Okay, let's let's focus. What happened today? I managed to go out in the water, and it seems like I'm in a safe area, at least. None of the fish are interested in me, and one of them can even be turned into drinkable water, so that's my immediate needs met. My life pod is extremely damaged, though. I need to get my hands on a repair tool as soon as I can. Thankfully, titanium isn't hard to come by, and I've already got some silicone rubber, so I just need to worry about getting my hands on some cave sulfur. If I just keep my mind focused on the current task, maybe I won't go crazy. Besides needing a repair tool, I was actually able to build myself a scanner today. I haven't been able to do much with it yet, but I'm sure it'll come in handy soon. I was too scared to swim very far from my life pod, but I did come across a patch of kelp that had these glowing balls hanging off of them. I took a few of them with me, and that's what my fabricator used to make the rubber. That about sums up my first day here, though. I'm so scared. I don't want to die alone. As if surviving wasn't hard enough already, some genius decided to design these life pods without a bed. I barely got an hour of sleep last night. Between trying to sleep on the floor, random sparks flying from the broken panels, and the smoke that's still filling the inside of my life pod, I guess it's a miracle I got any at all. I thought about going out to gather materials or something, but the water is pitch black at night. If most of the plants in this area didn't glow, then it would have been impossible to see even a meter in front of me. On top of it just being impractical, I don't think I've ever been more terrified in my life than when I was in that water last night. I could feel my entire body screaming at me to get back in the life pod. I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something watching me beyond where I could see. I suppose I'll be making a flashlight today. I need to get back in the water now, but I'm just so scared. I don't want to go out there again. God damn it! What am I supposed to do? It's still the middle of the day. I've just managed to repair my life pod, and more importantly, the radio. As soon as I fixed it, there was already a message waiting for me. I thought that it might be another survivor, or even Altera saying that they'd be here to rescue me soon. Well, Turns out it was Altera, but with any luck, they said they'll be able to pick me up in 11 years. As if I could ever survive that long on this awful planet. I'm going to die in this god-forsaken ocean, and not a single person in the galaxy seems to care. Maybe I should just get it over with now. Doing it myself beats being eaten by God knows what or slowly starving to death. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I'm scared of living, but I'm even more terrified of dying. I'm just hoping that keeping these logs will help me somehow. Help me cope or something. I don't know. Either way, I think I'll keep this up for a while. Till I get bored or die, I guess. Anyways, I built a flashlight like I wanted. I even got a chance to use it, as I found some small caves not far from my life pod. They're pretty narrow, but they don't go very far beneath the surface, and they seemed safe enough at first. I thought they might hold some useful resources, and I did find a few things, but I don't think it was worth the risk. There were these fish down there. Stayed in pods on the walls mostly, but if you disturbed them, they'd explode. I probably won't be exploring down there from now on. On the upside, those weird pod things they spend all their time in are full of sulfur, so after a few tried to kill me, I managed to take the deposits they had. I also found a gargantuan coral tube that was filled to the brim with quartz and other valuable resources. I took everything I could carry and brought it back to my life pod, but my storage was full, so I ended up building 2 waterproof lockers. Besides storage, though, another problem I've been running into is my air supply, but I'm afraid that one isn't so easily remedied. These shorter dives underwater are slowing me down, but I just don't have enough air to stay under for any longer than about 5 minutes. As a short-term fix, I've managed to make some fins and a sea glide, which should help me go deeper and explore a bit further with the limited oxygen I do have. I'd really like to upgrade my air tanks, but the fabricator is saying I need silver for that, and I haven't been able to find any. I really don't want to, but I'm thinking that I'll have to explore further from my life pod if I want to find what I need. Great. I've had enough of sleeping on the floor. I need to make a habitat builder. Problem is, it needs silver too, and I still don't have any. I guess I really don't have a choice anymore. I'll need to start looking around further away from my life pod. Shit. Today was a lot. But let's start positive. For one, ever since I built that sea glide yesterday, I can already feel myself recovering. 2 days of constant swimming was doing horrible things to my body. But with the sea glide, as long as I lightly kick my feet, I can travel over 3 times faster with half the effort. It's still not great, but it should do wonders for me long term. I also did end up looking for resources further away from here, and I ended up coming across a new biome. It's pretty open, which is both a blessing and a curse. For one, it makes it easy to see all around me, but at the same time, I don't think I've ever felt so vulnerable in my life. I feel like a sitting duck out there. There's also this red grass looking stuff and these weird pillars, I guess, coming up from the ground that'd sometimes have resources on them. Lead and gold, mostly, but I actually managed to find some silver too. And since I finally found the silver I've been looking for, I was able to upgrade my air tanks just like I wanted. I also made a rebreather, which should help me stay underwater for even longer. There was also this massive chunk of the Aurora that got separated from the main body during the crash nearby. With the help of some exposed air vents, I managed to swim inside. There wasn't much in there, but what really caught my eye is what was laying around the shipwreck. Scattered pieces of a sea moth. I was able to scan them and gather the data for its blueprint, so I can make one for myself. The only problem is that I still don't have the blueprints for a mobile vehicle bay, so I can't build it even if I wanted to just yet. And believe me, I do. Despite the progress I've made, today wasn't all good, though. I had a run-in with one of this planet's inhabitants. It was some kind of shark thing. It hid itself under the sand and silently waited for me to get close. And when I did, it sprung out and nearly sank its teeth into me. It missed by a few centimeters, but if I was a little less lucky, I don't even want to think about what would have happened. In my hurry to get away from whatever that thing was, I nearly ran, or swam, I guess, into what I thought was a floating island for a moment before it made some guttural noise. It had to be at least 50 meters long. By far the biggest thing I've seen so far. How they've even evaded me for this long, I don't know. Shortly after that, I ended up finding Life Pod 6, sitting on the seabed with a massive hole torn out of it, and no sign of its passengers. I went to check it out to see if there was anything I could scavenge, and I managed to find the blueprints for the Ultra Glide fins. There were also 2 PDAs nearby, and after downloading the data from the both of them, I found out that Life Pod 6 belonged to another crew member, and one of the few passengers aboard the Aurora. By the sounds of it, they sank because the passenger caught a fuel line while waving a flare around. It's a grim reminder of how close I am to death, even now. Unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of mourning their deaths, but I'll at least carry their names with me. It's the least I could do. It's the morning of my 4th day on this planet now, and I really need to get to work. I haven't been able to get Life Pod 6 off my mind. Its passengers, they're dead. They were people. They had lives. They had family. And they're dead. I can't help but wonder, why was it them? Why not me? Why am I the lucky one? I'm not anyone special. I'm nothing. And yet I'm alive and they're dead. It's just not fair. Not to me, not to them, and not to anyone else who's aboard the Aurora. It's just not fair.
Emergency. A quantum detonation has occurred in the Aurora's drive core. The reactor will reach a supercritical state in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. For your convenience, the radiation suit has been added to your blueprint database.
Okay, I don't have a lot of time, but the Aurora's drive core just exploded, and my PDA is saying I've got about 24 hours before any permanent damage is done by the radiation. For now, I'm gathering resources in an effort to prepare myself for a journey aboard the Aurora. I've never been that far from my life pod before, but now's as good a time as any, I suppose. Just have to stay focused. Since the Aurora's drive core exploded earlier, I've spent the rest of the day preparing to go and fix it. I'm no expert, but I'm hoping I can repair it at least enough to stop the radiation. While I was out, I managed to get the blueprints for the mobile vehicle bay, which I built earlier. Now, I'm just working on getting the resources for the sea moth. Once I'm done recording this entry, I'm thinking of heading back out into the water. It's already dark, but I have no choice but to be brave. Time is a luxury I don't have right now. I also got the blueprints for the propulsion cannon, which I'd like to build before I head off as well. I have no doubt there will be a huge mess after the initial crash and now that explosion. The more I think about what I need to do tomorrow, the more stressed I'm starting to become. But there is a silver lining. I got a new signal from my radio today, but this one came from another ship that had picked up the Aurora's distress call. Calls itself the Sunbeam. I'm apprehensive, honestly, but with a little luck, I might actually be able to get off this planet. Right now, that thought is the only thing keeping me sane. Ooh. I stayed up the whole night to get everything done, but I should be good to go now. I've got a Seamoth, a propulsion cannon, my repair tool, and some spare batteries. I'm hoping I won't need anything else. That's about all I've got to say, though. I don't have much time to spare at this point, so I'll be heading to the Aurora now. Wish me luck. My heart is pounding, and my legs feel like jelly, but I managed to do it. I'm standing on the front of the Aurora right now, but there's these weird crab things crawling all over the place. They've got 4 legs and a massive eye on their back. Some of them are even covered in these disgusting green pustules. Give me the creeps. Thankfully, they don't seem interested in me so long as I don't get too close, but having to worry about being attacked by crabs when I'm already distracted is the last thing I need right now. I'm nervous enough as it is. First there was that weird noise I heard on my way here, and now these things. Seriously though, I don't know what was making that sound. I thought it might be the Aurora shifting in the water or something, but that can't be right. It was more similar to the sound of a reefback, but at the same time it wasn't anywhere close to that, you know? It was really loud, but didn't sound like it was close by. If that noise really came from a creature, then I'm just praying I don't run into it. Anyways, better not to focus on such things. I'm gonna try and see if I can't make my way into the Aurora now. I see an open door up ahead, so maybe that'll lead somewhere. It's been about 3 hours since my last entry, and I'm still aboard the Aurora. A lot of the ship is flooded, which has made getting around really difficult. I was lucky enough to find my way to the drive core, but the room's also been flooded with water that's filled with parasites. I've still been repairing holes and faulty wires as best as I can, but the parasites are making things much more difficult. Thankfully, they aren't that strong, so giving them a smack or two is usually enough to make them run off. I should be done soon as well. There's only about 3 more minor repairs I need to make down there. Wish me luck. It's been another hour or so since my last entry. Thankfully, I was able to repair the drive core enough so that the radiation won't be an issue anymore. Even better news, though, is that the Aurora is a treasure trove. I mean, food, water, batteries, blueprints. It's got stuff I didn't even know I wanted. I've got so much stuff that I'm struggling to even carry it all, honestly. I might have to make 2 trips if I find much more. I was even able to get into the prawn bay, which, unfortunately, didn't have any intact prawn suits, but I was able to scan the broken pieces and get the blueprints to build one. Surviving should be much easier for a while thanks to this trip. What the fuck is that thing? I can't, 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 I can't. I can't. Okay. I'm okay. I don't know what time it is, but the sun is down. After repairing the drive core and scavenging the Aurora for a while, I noticed that it was getting late and started making my way back to my life pod. I was still around the front of the ship when I began hearing that noise I'd mentioned before. It took less than a second before that thing already had me in its grasp. It swam straight at me from beyond where I could even see, grabbed my sea moth with its mandibles, and did everything it could to rip it apart. There was nothing I could even do but stare death in the face. Out of desperation, I tried flashing my sea moth's lights in its eyes, and it seems like that bothered it enough to make it let me go. As soon as I was free, I headed straight for my life pod. I could still hear it following me for a while, but I think it lost interest at some point. I'm not going back to the Aurora. Ever. I can see the sun rising now. I didn't get much sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I see that thing's face. I can't get in the water again. I just can't. Not today. Please, just not today. I. I hardly even know what to say. I just received a distress signal from LifePod 19, and dry land was mentioned. Unfortunately, the attached coordinates were corrupted, so my only hope of actually finding the island is to find the remnants of LifePod 19 and see if I can't find the uncorrupted coordinates there. I still haven't been in the water since yesterday. Whenever I try to think about it, I end up having panic attacks. But if there's an actual island out there, dry land, that might be something worth risking my life for. For the first time in a long time, I'm finally standing on dry land. It's incredible. I'd forgotten how nice it is to have dirt beneath my feet. Everywhere I look, it's just land and plants. No water in sight, thank God. Some of the plants here even have edible seeds. There is one thing I don't understand, though. There are these dirt paths all over the place, but I don't see anyone here. From what I know, other survivors were trying to get here, but even if they did, they'd never have enough time to make all of these. Whoever made these paths had to have done it a long time ago, but that shouldn't be possible. Weren't weren't we the only ones here? It seems like there definitely used to be other people here. While I've been walking around, I looked up and noticed an observatory at the top of a small mountain. It's not alien or anything, but seeing a human base here is just as weird. What happened for other people to crash land here before we did? And where are they now? I'm at the top of the mountain now, and whoever made this place definitely made it a long time ago. I mean, it's literally falling apart. It has to have been here for at least a decade, I think. The only thing up here is an old PDA. I downloaded the data from it, but it didn't give me any useful information. I can see another observatory on an opposite mountain from here, and what looks like the main base in between the mountains. I'm gonna try and head to the main base next. Hopefully I'll have more luck there. I try to figure things out, and I only end up with more questions than answers. While I was looking around the main base, I ended up finding some kind of purple tablet thing sitting on one of the desks. I tried scanning it, but that told me nothing, and it doesn't seem like the people who found it before had any idea what it was either. My PDA is saying that it's probably hundreds or even thousands of years old, and yet the technology is still way beyond that of the Federation's. Humanity has had its fair share of run-ins with other alien species by now, but we've always been pretty equal in terms of technology. But this? This is so far beyond us that I can barely even comprehend it. I can at least tell from the fact that it's still here that its owners probably aren't looking for it. But if their basic technology is this advanced, I'm terrified to think of what else they can do. Today's been a lot. To even get to this island, I had to force myself into the water again. Every second I was out there, it felt like that thing was just gonna appear and rip my sea moth apart. Sometimes, if it was too quiet, I'd even hear its roar in the back of my mind. And it didn't get a whole lot better once I got here either. Now, with the discovery of this old base, plus that alien tech, it's left me with a lot more questions than I ever had answers. But as I watch the sunset, I can't help but feel like it was all worth it. This feels like it's the first time I've actually been able to relax for a second. God, this sunset is just beautiful. Alright, if you made it this far, then first off, thank you. I really don't know how you managed to sit through all that, but now that you're here, I think it's a good time to apologize for this video taking forever. The script got rewritten several times. I fully restarted from the beginning a few times as well, just because I was unhappy with how it was turning out, and I just overall was very slow to progress. I'm hoping the wait for my next video will be significantly shorter since the script is already mostly done, and it'll be a lot like my first video in format. I can't really guarantee any sort of timeline, but, anything better than 8 months would be an improvement. But yeah, that's about all I have to say. See you in the next one, hopefully.